Okay, this is going to be a video on how to install Ladybug and the associated plugins that comes in that whole Ladybug package, like Honeybee. And Ladybug isn't quite as straightforward to install as most other plugins for Grasshopper. So this tutorial will just walk through all of the steps to make sure you've got it installed correctly. And this video kind of follows the guidance of a video by The Different Design. They also have a how to install Ladybug tutorial, and it's a nice tutorial, so I'll link to that, and I'll also link to their website. They've got a lot of great Grasshopper tutorials. So to install Ladybug, the first thing we want to do is just go to foodforrhino.com, and we can type in Ladybug into the search bar, and Ladybug Tools is what we want. And so if these green boxes if they say login instead of download, you'll need to quickly log in. I'm already logged in, so they say download. And it looks like the most recent version is this 1.3.0, and you can see it includes Ladybug, Honeybee, and Dragonfly, uploaded on September 14th of 2021. So I'm going to download that one. So once that has downloaded, just open up the file that it downloaded into and unzip it and open up the Ladybug folder, and we need to double click on this installer, and that will launch Rhino and Grasshopper. And we see two toggles here in this big red alert that says follow these instructions. They're pretty simple to follow. Just make sure you're connected to the internet and set setup Python to true. This is what they're talking about. This Boolean toggle is now set to false, but we need to double click on it to set it to true. And that might take a minute to run, but once it does, then we can go back to these instructions and pay attention to this path here. It's going to be under C users and then whatever the username is and Ladybug Tools. But the next instruction that we need to follow is run the installer component below. And we're also going to want to do this number 2 under the optional ones, install Radiance, but we'll do that last. So our next step is to run this installer component below. And again, it says make sure you're connected to the internet and then set this Boolean toggle to true. And we get an alert that says Ladybug Tools 1.3 has been installed successfully and that we need to restart Rhino in order to use these new components. Okay, so we can close this and we can close Rhino, and we do not need to save this. Go ahead and close that, and let's open Rhino. And we'll open Grasshopper. And when we reopen Grasshopper, we can see that we have Ladybug, Honeybee, and Dragonfly tabs up here. I'll click on the Ladybug and put a component in here, and it seems to be working. If it were red like this component, then you'll have to go to Edit Python Script in Rhino. Just type Edit Python Script, and this will open. Go to Options, and you see this last search path here that's pointing to Python library site packages. You'll need to manually add that. So you should go to your users folder in your specific user and open up the Ladybug Tools folder and make sure all of this is there to start with. And if it's not, then make sure all of this is there to begin with. Hopefully it is there. If not, you'll have to redo the previous steps. But if it is there, then manually add this Ladybug Tools Python lib and then site packages. Obviously, your user won't be Nate unless you happen to be named Nate, but replace this part with whatever user you're using on your computer. But as you can see, this doesn't work, and that's because we haven't installed the Radiance plugin for Ladybug, so we can do that next. So what we can do to install the Radiance package is go up to this arrow, this little red thought bubble, and just click on it, and that is going to open the error. And if you click on the error again, it says click to copy error text to clipboard. So I'll click on that, and then we can just go back to our browser and we can paste it up here. And we can see that this last part is, it says, it gives you an address to go to download what's needed. So we can delete everything else that's not that HTTP address. So delete that and just click on and navigates to the GitHub address here. And here's the compatibility matrix. We just downloaded 1.3. And so if you have 1.3, then go ahead and click on this. Otherwise, navigate to whichever one of the Ladybug Tools versions you just downloaded. So I'll click on 1.3.0. And then down at the bottom here, I need it for Windows. So I want the windows.exe. So when I click on that, that will download. And I'll open the folder where it downloaded and double click to launch the installer. I'm going to stick with the default here. Do not add Radiance to the system path. And install Radiance on the C drive. And I can click Finish. And then I'll close Rhino and Grasshopper and then open them again. And I'll go back to the Ladybug tab and grab this cumulative sky matrix again. This is the component that didn't work last time. And if I put it on the canvas now, it's no longer red, so it's working. And that's it. You're all ready to work with the Ladybug tools.